You have a day just for you and your ride. One-on-one time with something fast, something pretty, something noisy, emotive, exciting and enticing. Where do you go? And what do you do?
Well, I have the data myself and the new Jaguar F-Type 400 Sport, so I intend to use it wisely. I brought it to some of my favourite roads. They're brilliant, even in the torrential wet. You know what? The F-Type is one of the prettiest cars you can buy today, so the two should go together rather nicely.
The 400 Sport will only be around for a year. After that, who knows whether there'll be a 400 horsepower 3-litre V6 F-Type again. Probably quite swiftly, but we'll see. As this is a special car, it gets some special details. Jazzy badges, embroidered seats, that kind of stuff.
There are also bigger brakes, configurable dynamics so you can tailor the car's characteristics to your heart's desire, and a little bit of a facelift. Nothing too drastic though. The F-Type, well, it's already beautiful. Why risk ruining it?
Power-wise, we've got 400 horses and 339 pound-foot, good enough to punt it from 0 to 60 in 4.8 seconds. 0 to 62 takes a touch longer. It'll top out at 171 miles an hour if you're feeling brave, and there's an 8-speed automatic transmission sending the power to the wheels. Signs all point to tasty.
Roads like this are the kind of things that idiots like me really love. They're long, flowing, challenging and exciting. The kind of road that an F-Type hungers for. So what are we like on the road then? It's not uncomfortable, the ride isn't jarring, it's not too noisy, it's not as noisy as say a Porsche 911. With that you get loads and loads of tyre roar. This, less of that, which is good. You can use it as a comfy motorway cruiser, though I wouldn't go for the V6 for that because, well, while it makes a good noise, and it makes a nice farty little noise, it sounds like a 70s F1 car, it does get a little bit drony at 70 odd miles an hour. Now you can fiddle with the exhaust to make it loud or quiet, but still it's not, at 70, the most exciting noise to hear. However, get it onto a road like this, start playing with the gearbox, stick it into sport and manual, and it sounds fantastic. I can't push it too hard, or as hard as I'd like, because even though this is all-wheel drive, the roads are that wet, and these are notoriously greasy roads. Performance-wise, the 400, it is a V6 at the end of the day. So it's going to be highly strung and shouty. And the thing I always find with the V6 is that they never feel as quick as you hope they do unless they've got whacking great turbochargers on them. However, it's quick enough. And this is a sports car. You're supposed to have fun with it, learn it, do your thing. You can get a manual V6 F-Type if you want to. You can't have it in a 400. So this is only 8-speed auto. But it does suit the car rather nicely. The steering on the road in dynamic is wonderfully direct. Not quite as sharp as you get in, say, don't shout it too loud, a Porsche. But if you combine that view and these roads, they're fast, occasionally challenging, they feel good. And when you hook up corners correctly, there's no feeling like it. When you get a car like this that's stunning to look at, when you lock it, you look back to check it's still there, to take in the lines, the haunches. The rear of this car is a masterpiece of design. And then it makes that noise, and it feels the way it does. It's special.
But I have other plans for the Jag. There's somewhere better for it to be, somewhere for it to breathe its biggest breath, somewhere more track-like.
Much better. Let's see what 400 horses and an open track feels like. See, the problem with this on the road is that it has 400 horsepower to play with, and, well, you can't use them. You just can't. Because you can happily zoom up to the speed limit in a low gear, then you have to sit there And that's not very exciting. And yeah, while it's comfortable and all that, it's not, well, what this thing was built for. This was built for speed. And it's capable of quite a lot of it, actually. The gearbox isn't so quick to respond as I'd like, frankly, because, well, I don't quite know why. It felt quicker in other F-types, but it's not a PDK, it's that ZF 8-speed. So when you are cruising, that's fine, but when you've got the car set to angry, angry, angry mode, it's not quite as on it as I'd like. Now, the 400 does come with bigger brakes, and I'm rather grateful for that, because now we've got a slippery, nasty, wet track. Actually, they do come into their own. On the road, they're nice and easy to modulate. Here, you can really give them a good old footful, and then off it goes. Handling-wise, we have à deux, which means we have a little bit more grip than we would in a rear-drive car, which means it's a little bit more understeery if you're going quickly, but it'll still play with you. It'll still be quite wild, but then balance it properly and don't drive like a complete muppet, and you'll find yourself going around corners at rather ridiculous speeds. The grip, you can feel it hunker down, you can feel the rear and the front working together to wang you around a corner rather quickly, and it does change direction beautifully. The steering isn't the most feedback-tastic out there. It's still very much a Jaguar, which means it's quite floaty and it's quite luxurious and lazy, but when Sir wishes to build the pace, Sir may. The 400 Sport, I can see why they've done it. The VAR is quite unhinged. The SVR, very unhinged. Fantastic, but very unhinged. The 380 V6, you always felt there was a little bit more potential there. That's this. That is this, and by God, it makes a good noise while it's doing it. This thing is phenomenal fun. There are few negative points to an F-Type. Very few. Yeah, it's not as communicative as a 911. Yes, they are quite expensive. No, there's not much space. But the look of it, the feel of it, and the way it makes you feel, that's the important thing. And it makes me feel chuffing brilliant.
Cars like this are special, not because of their looks, not because of their badges, but because of how they make you feel. Yeah, it's got too much power to fully exploit on the road, but here, well, the cat can play.
That day then, that one just for you. If it were my day, I'd get up early, I'd find my favourite B roads and go and play around, and then find a racetrack and drive like a complete pillock for fun. But here's the rub, you don't have to do that. You can just go and do something and, well, you do you.
Everyone, pretty much, has a connection with a car. You see them almost daily, hear them, ride in them, drive them, or enjoy them, or maybe even, hate them. You can find a country road, go for a ride around town, clean your car, modify it, play with it, do whatever you want. A wise man once said that some people live more in 20 years than others do in 80. It's not the time that matters, it's the person.
Be the person that takes a day just to go and enjoy themselves. Do something stupid, drive somewhere, anywhere. It doesn't even matter what you're driving so long as you're driving it. Go and be the star of your own movie. And maybe leave some tire marks somewhere no one will really mind.